So today I'm going to talk a little bit about crypto mining. Uh, Mining can be a little bit of a confusing topic for people. People hear about Bitcoining mining and they wonder what that actually means. At a high level, what crypto mining is validating the blockchain. So the blockchain receives all these transactions on it, and there are people spread out across the world that run a node, which is essentially a computer that houses the information from the blockchain. And when those transactions take place, all of the nodes need to sync together to validate and make sure that the record is accurate. So in Bitcoin mining, this is done on a consensus algorithm called proof of work, which requires the miners to solve puzzles. This is done with hardware, and some people can consider it to be energy consuming and bad for the environment. But there's other ways that this is done too. So in other networks, such as the Ethereum network and many of the other networks that are based on Ethereum, they use a consensus algorithm called proof of stake. And proof of stake takes the groups of people that are running the nodes or these computers that host the blockchain and validate against it, and they pool funds in whatever currency the network operates on to stake against that. And then when the blockchain validates based on the nodes with their funds staked against it, it achieves consensus and rewards the miners. Same on the Bitcoin chain with proof of work. When it reaches the consensus and validates the block, the miners get paid in that former currency, which in one case would be Bitcoin and others in Ethereum. In proof of stake, which is mostly what I'm going to talk about today, a lot of the chains, if you want to operate your own node, require a pretty significant investment to be able to house the node. So what some people do, if you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to stake on something, is called delegate. So the node owner can also delegate space on his staking to allow people with smaller amounts to join in the validation of the blockchain and partake in portions of the rewards. So I have been doing this on the Avalanche chain, and I'm going to take you quickly through how to stake on the Avalanche chain or delegate on the Avalanche chain. So to start, the first thing would be to go to Avalanche wallet. Now, if you have Avalanche funds in your MetaMask, you'll still want to do this on the Avalanche network. There are some other websites that you can do it on, but I recommend usually with anything in the form of staking to make sure that you're doing it from a very trusted source. There's a lot of scams in the crypto world, so it's good to make sure you're as close to the source as possible whenever you're trying to stake your funds on those things. So this is the Avalanche network. You know, it notifies you here to make sure that you're actually on the same network, so that you're not, on some sort of a spoofing website that's trying to steal your crypto funds. I've already created a wallet. I'm going to do that here. If you don't, you can say create new wallet, and it'll do like we did in the other video. It'll have you create a mnemonic key phrase. You have to memorize that or write it down, keep it somewhere, because if somebody has it, you can access their wallet from anywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and access my wallet here. So with Avalanche has multiple chains. to help keep it consistent and moving transaction quickly and low transaction costs. The main chain that, like, if you have stuff on a MetaMask wallet, it's going to be on the C chain. The C chain is the same as the Ethereum virtual machine, so it operates on that. You can transfer Ethereum-based things back and forth on that network. But if you want to do what's called staking or delegating or anything of that nature, you need to put it onto the P chain. The P chain is exclusively for those kind of transactions within the Avalanche network. That's what also helps keep the costs down and the transactions times fast, is by having these segregated chains. So in order to do delegation, you need to have a minimum of 25 AVAX. So I've got that here. I've already transferred it to the C chain. If you need to do it, the way that I got my funds here is through purchasing through. So I purchased my AVAX via Coinbase, and then transferred them to my C chain wallet. So in here, you can get your wallet address over here. So on the C chain, it gives me a wallet address, and I'm able to send it to this address. Once it's there, I need to go to the cross chain. Say I'm sending on the C chain, or the source chain is the C chain, the destination chain is the P chain, and then say however much you want to transfer. So here, it's like I could say I'm going to send the maximum amount, move that over. Right now, I'm going to leave that where it is and just keep working with my 25 that I have going here. And so we go back. Once we have our Avalanche on the P chain, we come to earn, and we're going to say we're going to delegate. So as I was saying at the beginning, delegation is essentially you're staking your money with somebody else's node. So anytime that you're doing something with somebody else is taking some semblance of custodian, they won't have your funds, but you're putting your funds with their stuff. So you want to make sure that you're going to get a node that's actually going to give you rewards back. So what I like to do, first off, is one, I don't want to pay high fees. So I come in, I filter this and say maximum fee is 2%. You won't find anybody doing less than a 2% fee. And maximum uptime, usually it's not hard to find somebody with more than 95%, if not 99%. So I come and I do these uptimes, make sure they're up more than 95% of the time, and a 2% fee. If a person or if a node has too much downtime, they won't get rewarded. So you want to make sure you're doing that. And then you kind of come through here. So this shows that this node has 1,146 other people also delegating towards it. So it's probably pretty reputable. So what I like to do in these instances is come take a look at the actual nodes and make sure, and just get some information on them. So you can go to Google and type in Avalanche node viewer and scroll down to AvaScan, which is a blockchain explorer. And here you can type in or paste your node ID and search. And then it'll give you some information about this node. So usually it gives some information about where they're based out of, some other things. I don't see any of that here. Let's look at a different one. Yeah, so like this node here, it's based in Columbus, Ohio, running on Amazon's ISP. It's got a delegation fee of 2%. It's made over 1,400 AVAX in delegations. It Gauss rewards. So it looks like it's pretty good. There's sometimes you'll get some of these that are based in um, some areas of the world that you may question a little bit. Also, sometimes you can look up the managing entity, see if there's somebody credible. When I look at this here, so it looks like they've already got 900,000 staked against it. There's 1,000 people in it. It ends in 9 months. So sometimes it's like, so once you delegate your money, it's locked up for that period, and you get rewarded based on longer periods of time. Sometimes in here, so maybe we'll redo our filter here. I like to do mine for a month to 2 months at a time, in case you need money or whatever other reason. If you don't need the money, if you delegate it longer, you'll get a better reward out of it. So, and for this exercise here, and we may just pick this one here with 20 people. Well, let's look at the node first. Crouching human, all nodes, Boardman, United States. %, uptime, 17 of 17 on responsiveness, delegations 2%. We've had we'll go ahead and join in on this one for the next 2 months. So after you've selected and said you're going to go with it, you say select. Puts the node ID in for you. There's 20 other delegators. I'm going to add my delegation to it. So we're going to say max. So this is going to end in 2 months, 63 days, 2 hours. We're going to do the maximum amount of AVAX that I have, the 25.35. I just got rewarded earlier today for my last round of delegations. It's a little less than a 10% yield. It looks like maybe a little more. I don't know. And didn't go through. So then we check my wallet is correct. That's my wallet address. That's my wallet address. Use this wallet and then say confirm. And then we're going to submit. And I have committed my AVAX to the chain for the next 2 months. So that's how you do the delegation. There are, if you don't have 25 AVAX to do it on Avalanche's primary wallet here, you can use some alternative methods. I'm not super familiar with them. I know there's a decentralized exchange called Trader Joe that has some ways that you can stake smaller amounts. They take aggregates of other people's money into delegated amounts and then stake it for you and then give you portions of that. There's also things you can do like yield farming, in that if you have less than the 25 AVAX. But I hope that gives you a good understanding and a little bit better understanding of mining and what it is, and hope you all continue to enjoy learning about crypto like I do.